Have you ever considered the inner turmoil that grips a deceptive person when their carefully constructed lies unravel before you? For those who live by manipulation, truth is not just a threat. It's an existential crisis. Unlike the virtuous, who find strength in honesty, deceivers view exposure as a battlefield, where their survival depends on deception, deflection, and disguise. They don't simply falter when confronted. They escalate, weaving layers of cunning tactics to maintain control. These tactics are not always glaring. They are subtle, like faint whispers in a storm, requiring keen awareness to detect. Recognizing these signals is not just about avoiding harm. It is a profound act of self-preservation and growth. When faced with the truth, liars are unmasked, revealing cracks in their facade. An uneasy glance, a trembling voice, a forced smile that fails to conceal the storm of fear and insecurity raging within. In fleeting yet telling moments, their true nature is laid bare. Understanding these patterns equips you with the tools to protect your peace, assert your dignity, and stay unwavering amidst attempts to pull you into their chaos. Today, we'll explore 9 distinct signs of deception that, once understood, can become a guiding compass for navigating the complexities of human interaction. This journey is not merely about defense. It's about cultivating the resilience and wisdom to thrive beyond the shadows of manipulation. Sign 1. The sudden shift in behavior. A new facade emerges. When confronted with the truth, deceptive individuals often take refuge in reinvention, crafting a new persona to obscure their exposed lies. This transformation is not an act of remorse, but a calculated maneuver to regain control of how others perceive them. They are like actors abruptly switching roles, hoping their new mask will divert attention from the crumbling one. But why do they change so suddenly? The truth disrupts their fabricated reality, threatening their reputation and the intricate deceit they've carefully spun over time. This shift is rarely subtle. It's dramatic and often laced with emotional appeals. The deceiver may feign vulnerability, offering tearful confessions of past struggles or claiming external pressures as the root of their misdeeds. They weave narratives designed to evoke sympathy, subtly shifting the focus from their actions to their hardships. Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Liars understand this profoundly and exploit it, crafting stories that manipulate your perceptions and even your moral compass. Imagine someone who suddenly becomes warm and accommodating after being exposed to betrayal. They share personal anecdotes, speak with uncharacteristic humility, and appear to be a reformed individual. But observe closely. Every word and every gesture is meticulously designed to make you doubt your initial judgment. Their goal isn't reconciliation. It clouds your understanding, sowing seeds of confusion and guilt within you. A sudden behavior change is rarely a sign of genuine growth. It is often a strategic distraction, a smokescreen meant to protect their fragile ego and prolong their deceitful influence. In these moments, clarity is your greatest ally. Hold firm to what you know, for the truth is unchanging, no matter how skillfully it is cloaked. Remember, the manipulator's transformation reflects their desperation, not their sincerity. As you stand steadfast, let their words and actions pass through the filter of your wisdom. Genuine change requires time and consistent effort, not a theatrical performance born out of fear of exposure. Sign 2. The subtle ripple of unease. Anxiety as a signal of deception. Anxiety is often described as the body's silent alarm, a subtle ripple in the still waters of our intuition. In the presence of deceptive individuals, this alarm rings quietly but persistently, manifesting an inexplicable sense of discomfort. The unease is not always tied to overt actions or words. Instead, it emanates from the tension between their false facade and the truth they strive to suppress. These feelings are not coincidences. Your instincts alert you to a deeper, unspoken reality. Deceptive individuals project a peculiar energy when their lies are nearly uncovered. Their demeanor shifts. Their gaze may dart nervously, their responses become vague or overly rehearsed, and their physical presence seems intrusive or overbearing. Imagine a coworker who avoids eye contact and offers shallow justifications when confronted about discrepancies in their report. Their energy subtly changes, filling the room with an oppressive tension that is hard to ignore. This dissonance is their internal conflict leaking into the environment, creating waves that disrupt your emotional balance. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once remarked, "Men are disturbed not by things but by the views they take of them." This insight reminds us that our reaction to this anxiety determines its power over us. The discomfort is not the enemy. It is a guide, pointing us toward the truth hidden beneath layers of pretense. By recognizing and respecting these feelings, we can maintain clarity, refusing to be pulled into the manipulator's emotional chaos. When anxiety rises in their presence, take it as a sign to pause and reflect. Don't let their negative energy invade your mental space or cloud your judgment. Instead, anchor yourself in calmness and self-control, using your intuition as a compass. The deceptive aim is to create confusion and make you doubt yourself, but your steadfast tranquility mirrors their insecurity. Remember, the ripple of unease is not a weakness but a strength, signaling your ability to perceive the truth even when it is cloaked in shadows. Sign 3. The web of lies, when deceit becomes their fortress. For a liar, exposure is not an end but an incitement to build more intricate defenses. Instead of admitting their faults, they layer one lie over another, creating a labyrinth of deceit to obscure the truth. This relentless effort to maintain their falsehood is not just a strategy, it becomes a way of life. Each new fabrication is carefully constructed, not to repair the relationship or situation, but to shield their fragile ego from the consequences of their actions. Deceptive individuals understand that admitting the truth dismantles their carefully curated image. Take, for example, a colleague who has been caught altering critical data. Rather than confess, they offer plausible but false explanations, shifting blame to external factors or minor oversights. With each new detail they fabricate, their narrative grows more complex, pulling you further into their web of manipulation. They may even feign vulnerability, sharing personal struggles to evoke your sympathy and make you doubt the validity of your discovery. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca observed, "A well-lived life is open and straightforward. Deception only entangles the soul." Liars, however, choose to entangle themselves in these entanglements, often convincing themselves of their falsehoods. The more they lie, the more detached they become from reality until their existence revolves around maintaining the illusion. For those who confront such behavior, the challenge lies in not being trapped in their web. Their lies make you question your understanding and distract you from the core truth. Stay anchored in what you know and refuse to be swayed by their attempts to redirect or obscure the facts. Remember, each new lie they tell is not a display of power but a sign of their growing insecurity and inability to face reality. Your clarity and composure are the most excellent defenses against their convoluted narratives. No matter how deeply buried, the truth remains immutable, and your steadfastness ensures it will ultimately prevail. Sign 4. The Opportunist Unveiled, seeking only personal gain. A defining trait of manipulative individuals is their unwavering focus on personal benefit. When their facade begins to crack, their true motivations come to light. They seek to extract whatever they can from those around them, often at the expense of genuine connection. This behavior is not born of necessity, but an ingrained disregard for others. They see relationships not as mutual bonds, but as transactional arrangements, abandoning them the moment the benefits fade. Before their deceit is uncovered, These individuals often appear dependable, generous, and even empathetic. They are quick to offer help, making themselves indispensable in times of need. But their presence becomes conditional when the truth is revealed, dictated by what they stand to gain. Imagine a friend who, after borrowing your resources time and time again, vanishes when you are the one in need. When confronted, they offer excuses or promises of future repayment, but their actions never align with their words. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This wisdom teaches us that genuine character is demonstrated through consistent action, not fleeting gestures of convenience. Those who reveal themselves as opportunists lack the integrity to build lasting trust, and their pursuit of gain leaves a trail of broken relationships in their wake. For those who encounter such behavior, the response must be one of clarity and resolve. Recognize that their attention is not a reflection of your worth, but of their selfish agenda. You create space for healthier, more meaningful connections by distancing yourself from their influence. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our values, our choices, and the relationships we nurture. In doing so, we protect our peace and preserve our dignity, ensuring our energy is spent on those who genuinely deserve it. Let their absence remind them of the strength found in choosing authenticity over exploitation. Sign 5. The illusion of superiority, a tactic to undermine confidence. When faced with exposure, deceptive individuals often resort to false superiority. By belittling others and pointing out perceived flaws, they attempt to deflect attention from their misdeeds. This tactic is not merely about appearing confident. It's a desperate attempt to maintain control and distract you from the truth. Through subtle insults or dismissive remarks, they chip away at your confidence, leaving you questioning yourself rather than their actions. This behavior stems from their fear of vulnerability. Acknowledging their faults would require humility and self-reflection, qualities that those consumed by deceit often lack. Imagine confronting someone about a transparent lie, only to hear dismissive responses like, "That's something only someone inexperienced would notice," or, "You're overthinking it. This isn't a big deal." These comments are designed not only to invalidate your perspective, but to place themselves in a position of authority, making you feel inferior for daring to challenge them. Stoic philosophy offers a powerful counter to this tactic. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The liar's goal is to provoke an emotional reaction, to draw you into their game of control and doubt. But you remove their power when you maintain your composure and refuse to engage with their manipulative remarks. Instead of reacting defensively, respond with silence or a calm acknowledgement of the facts. Your tranquility will disrupt their carefully orchestrated attempts to assert dominance. Remember, their insults and feigned superiority are not a reflection of your worth, but of their insecurity. By standing firm in your self-respect and focusing on what you know to be accurate, you protect yourself from their attempts to undermine your confidence. True strength lies in understanding your value, unaffected by the illusions others project to hide their weaknesses. Sign 6. The pretense of innocence, masking guilt with feigned ignorance. When their lies are revealed, manipulative individuals often retreat into the guise of innocence. This is not genuine naivety, but a calculated strategy to deflect blame and responsibility. By projecting an air of obliviousness, they aim to disarm you, making you second-guess your judgment and shifting the burden of proof onto you. It's a performance carefully designed to evoke doubt, subtly forcing you to question whether they genuinely intended harm or if you may be overreacting. This tactic often comes with phrases like, "I didn't realize it would upset you," or "Why didn't you say something sooner?" Such statements do not acknowledge their wrongdoing but imply that your fault is for misinterpreting their actions. Their behavior suggests innocence, but their reluctance to accept accountability reveals the more profound truth. This is not an oversight. It is evasion. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once advised, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This wisdom reminds us to remain grounded in our perceptions, even when faced with efforts to cloud our understanding. Manipulators rely on emotional responses, guilt, confusion, or frustration, to destabilize your resolve and regain control. By staying calm and composed, you deny them the satisfaction of influencing your mind. In these moments, silence and clarity are your greatest allies. A calm but firm response such as, "I trust what I've observed," or "This is not about how I reacted but about the actions themselves," can counter their attempts to shift focus. Recognize their pretense for what it is, a veil meant to obscure the truth, and refuse to let it cloud your judgment. Ultimately, their innocence is a mask, and your steadfastness ensures it disappears, revealing the reality beneath. Let their efforts to deny the truth remind you of the strength in your integrity, which no facade can diminish. Sign 7. Emotional manipulation, turning your feelings against you. When manipulators sense their lies unraveling, they rarely retreat. Instead, they weaponize your emotions, crafting scenarios to confuse your perceptions and cloud your judgment. Emotional manipulation is one of their most potent tools, aimed at exploiting your empathy and sense of fairness to protect their fragile facade. Through subtle but calculated actions, they redirect attention away from their deception, making you question your reactions, motives, and worth. This tactic often begins with an emotional outburst or an exaggerated display of vulnerability. They may invoke guilt with statements like, "After all I've done for you, this is how you treat me," or twist the narrative with phrases like, "I'm hurt that you'd think I'd ever do such a thing." Their goal is not reconciliation or truth but control, pulling you into a whirlpool of doubt and emotional turmoil, all while evading accountability. Stoic philosophy offers a vital counter to such manipulation. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." You can resist their emotional fog by focusing on your internal clarity. You can choose not to engage with their narrative when you recognize that their words are designed to provoke. Instead, stay rooted in the facts and your observations. One practical approach is to gently but firmly steer the conversation back to the core issue. A response like, "I understand you feel upset, but this is about the behavior, not the emotions," can help refocus the dialogue. Remember, their manipulative tactics thrive on your emotional reaction. By remaining calm and unwavering, you deny them the leverage they seek. True strength lies in discerning between authentic vulnerability and emotional manipulation. A sincere person seeks to understand and resolve the issue. A manipulator deflects, distorts, and destabilizes. By maintaining your composure, you reclaim your power and ensure that your decisions are guided by reason, not the chaos they aim to create. Ultimately, their attempts to manipulate your emotions reveal their desperation, while your steadfastness reflects the depth of your integrity. Sign 8. Shifting blame, the art of redirection. When their deceit is exposed, manipulative individuals often deploy a cunning tactic, shifting blame. Rather than take responsibility for their actions, they redirect the focus, turning their wrongdoing into a problem that seems to stem from you or others. This tactic is not merely deflection but a deliberate attempt to confuse, disarm, and control. Redirecting the spotlight creates doubt, making you question the legitimacy of your feelings and observations. Their blame shifting may take the form of subtle accusations cloaked in defensiveness. Phrases like, "If you hadn't been so demanding, I wouldn't have had to lie," or "You're the one making this into a big deal," are common. These statements are carefully constructed to shift attention away from their faults and onto your reactions or actions. The goal is clear. If you're defending yourself, you're not questioning them. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca observed, "He who is brave is free." In this context, freedom comes from resisting the mental traps set by blame shifters. Their strategy is rooted in fear, the fear of being held accountable. You free yourself from their manipulative grasp by standing firm and focusing on the truth. When you encounter this behavior, resist the urge to engage in a defensive argument. A calm but direct response such as, "This isn't about me. It's about the choices you made," can neutralize their attempts to deflect. Refuse to let their distractions pull you away from the core issue. Recognize their tactic for what it is, avoiding accountability, not a genuine critique of your actions. Blame shifting is a sign of weakness, a refusal to face and grow from reality. You reclaim control over the narrative by staying centered and refusing to be drawn into their redirection. Their accusations, however cleverly veiled, cannot obscure the truth if you remain steadfast. Remember, their attempts to burden you reflect their insecurity and lack of integrity. By responding with clarity and composure, you uphold your values and protect your peace, letting their blame disappear like water from stone. Sign 9. Using guilt and pity, exploiting compassion to avoid accountability. One of the most insidious tactics of manipulative individuals is their ability to weaponize your compassion against you. When faced with exposure, they do not confess or confront the truth. Instead, they evoke guilt and pity, redirecting the focus from their actions to their emotions. This strategy is a calculated attempt to make you feel responsible for their predicament, exploiting your empathy to shield themselves from accountability. Their methods are subtle but effective. They might recount stories of personal hardship, claiming their actions resulted from overwhelming circumstances. Statements like, "I've been under so much pressure. Can't you understand?" Or, "I didn't mean to hurt you. I've been going through so much," are carefully crafted to elicit your sympathy. By framing themselves as victims, they shift the dynamic, making you feel you are being too harsh or unkind in holding them accountable. Stoic philosophy provides a powerful antidote to this manipulation. Epictetus once taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This wisdom reminds us that true freedom comes from understanding and controlling our emotions rather than allowing others to dictate our feelings. While empathy is a strength, it must be guided by reason, not exploited by those who seek to manipulate it. In these moments, it is essential to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, is their hardship genuine, or is it being used to obscure the truth? Acknowledge their feelings without losing sight of their actions. A firm yet compassionate response, such as, "I understand that you're going through a difficult time, but that doesn't excuse what happened," can affirm your empathy while maintaining your boundaries. Remember, guilt and pity are tools of distraction for the manipulator, not avenues of resolution. You protect your integrity and peace by staying focused on the facts and refusing to let your emotions override your judgment. Compassion, when paired with wisdom, becomes a shield against such tactics. Genuine empathy recognizes pain but does not excuse deceit. In holding manipulators accountable, you defend yourself and encourage the honesty and growth that Stoic philosophy values above all. Conclusion. As we've explored, manipulative individuals' behaviors reveal their deepest insecurities and fears when their lies are uncovered. Each sign, whether shifting blame, feigning innocence, or exploiting your emotions, is a testament to their struggle to maintain control over a reality they cannot face. But for those who live by principles of truth and integrity, these tactics are not insurmountable obstacles but opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more steadfast. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true power lies in how we respond. Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When faced with deceit, you are not powerless. By staying composed, focusing on the facts, and maintaining self-respect, you can navigate through the chaos they create without compromising your peace. Silence, clarity, and resilience are the tools that ensure you remain unshaken in the face of manipulation. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of the signs we've discussed resonates most with your experiences? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's foster a space to learn from one another. If this video has provided insight or inspired reflection, don't forget to like and share it with others who may benefit from this knowledge. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification button to never miss a new upload. Let's continue this journey of self-discovery and empowerment, cultivating the wisdom and strength that Stoicism inspires. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, stay resilient and composed, and remember that your peace is your greatest strength. See you in the following video.